Today's focus will be on how to do speed calculations in this class. So every setup will look like this, okay, where you're given all these different pieces of information, and you are going to absolutely have to fill them out in order to get good grades in this class. Okay, so the first thing is that you're going to read your problem and then you're going to try to fill in this variables with the units. So it says, what is the speed? So that's another, I'm asking for speed. So under speed, I'm going to put a question mark. Of a car that traveled 75 kilometers north, so 75 kilometers would be my distance. I need to write the number 75, but I also need to write the units. If you do not write the units, then you are losing that point. Okay, this is a point for writing the number and a point for writing the kilometers in 1.5 hours. So under time, I'm going to write 1.5 hours. Okay, notice once again, I wrote the units. So then the next step, once I filled in all these variables, is to try to figure out which formula or what aspect of this formula I'm going to use. So how you do this is that you cover up whatever you are trying to solve for. So if I am trying to solve for, let's say, speed in this case, I cover up speed, and it tells me to take distance divided by my time. Okay? Oop, drop my pen. All right, if it, for example, asked me to do distance, I would cover up distance and it would tell me to do speed times time. And then if I asked you to, or if the problem asked me to solve for time, cover up time and I take distance divided by speed. Okay, so in this particular problem, I am asking for speed, so I'm going to cover up speed, and so I'm going to take my distance, and I'm going to divide it by my time. So my distance is right here. It is 75, and once again, you do have to write the units, so kilometers, and I'm going to divide it by my time, which is 1.5 hours. Okay, that's all the work that I need to do, but you absolutely need to write every single unit down. So when I solve this, I get 50, and once again, you have to use the units. So my unit would be kilometers over hours, which is kilometers per hour. So I'd be going 50 kilometers per hour. Final answer. All right, same exact setup. You're just going to be filling in different things, such as the distance, time, and speed. Okay, so it took 3.5 hours. I know right away that is 3.5 hours. Okay, for a train to travel the distance between two cities at a velocity. Another word for velocity we think of is speed for this class. So this would be 120 miles per hour. How many miles lie between the two distances, or two cities? So that's a distance. So I'm asking for miles. All right, so now I filled out all these. I filled in my units, and now I'm going to figure out which formula. So on this formula thing, what I want you to do is I want you to color in what you're solving for. So in this case, I'm coloring in distance. Okay, so I'm going to take my speed times my time. So my speed is 120 miles per hour, and I'm going to multiply by my time, which is 3.5 hours. Okay, make sure that your time unit matches your speed unit as far as time goes, and your distance unit matches your speed unit as far as distance goes. So in this one, I'm looking for miles, and I have miles for my speed. In this one, I have hours, and it's in miles per hour. So those match up, so I'm good to go. So now all I need to do is multiply these out to get my final answer. And my final answer is 420. And then my unit for my thing was in miles, so I'm just going to write miles. So it's 420 miles. Once again, note that I put units here, I put units here. Every single time you get points for writing your units, and every single time you will get points taken off if you do not write your units. Try the third one. How long, so I don't know if that's time or distance, so we're going to figure out in a second. Would it take for a car to travel a distance of 200 kilometers? Well, I know that's distance, so I'm going to write 200 kilometers. If it is traveling at a velocity or a speed of 55 kilometers per hour. So I'm going to write 55. Once again, write down your units of kilometers per hour. So I am asking for time, I guess, because that's how long. That makes sense. So I'm going to cover up my time. So scribble in that one. So what does it tell you to do? Take your distance, which is 200 kilometers, and divide it by my speed. Notice that they are on top of one another. That shows division. It also shows division right here. So I'm going to take it divided by my speed, which is 55 kilometers per hour. I am also going to check right now. Oh, my distance was in kilometers. My bottom unit for speed was in hours, so that means that my time would also have to be in hours. So when I take 200 and I divide it by 55, I don't get an exact number, and that's fine. You just round to like 3 or 4 numbers, whichever one you want. And so I'm going to write down 3.64, and then my unit would be hours. All right, hopefully you have a basic understanding of how to do these calculations. When you are doing them, what I really, really want to emphasize is make sure you write your units and everything down over here. This is going to be a lot of points for just writing down your variables. Also, make sure you show your work where you're given your units, writing them down, and make sure your answer, it also has your units associated with it. Have a great day.